The NTSB has dispatched a team of investigators to the site of a deadly Amtrak crash along the busy Northeast corridor. 2 Amtrak workers were killed when the backhoe they were operating collided with the train. The train headed from New York to Savannah, Georgia, was carrying 341 people at the time of the accident. 35 passengers were transported to the hospital. None of the injuries are believed to be life-threatening. Amtrak gave an update on the accident just a short time ago.
Service on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor is currently suspended between Philadelphia and Wilmington. We'll be working to restore service as soon as possible. Amtrak service between New York and Harrisburg, Amtrak's Keystone service, remains operational. For those who are concerned about family members and loved ones on the train, they can call 1-800-523-9101. This is our information hotline. We can provide information. That's all the information we have right now. The NTSB will be in charge of the investigation. They'll be providing all further information about the incident. Thank you.
For more on that investigation, we turn to our transportation safety analyst, Mark Rosenker. He is a former NTSB chairman, and he is in our Washington bureau today. Mark, let's talk about this investigation. I think we talked about this a little earlier today. Are there cameras at those locations where the train was hit? And obviously there are cameras inside the cabin or the cockpit. I don't know what you call it for the train.
Well, in the locomotive cab, there is a dash cam, which in fact is looking outward down the tracks, which would give you a view of what the engineer would be looking at. The Amtrak has indicated that they have, if they haven't done it already, they are planning on putting cameras in the cab itself facing the engineer himself, so to see what the engineer was doing at the time of the accident itself. The NTSB, in its GO team, will bring a number of people, including the investigator in charge, to this investigation. And of course, a good deal of information as it relates to what the train's, how its performance was, is in that what we call the event recorder. It's like a black box or aircraft. They'll take that, they'll download the information so that they'll get a good idea of the speeds of the train itself and when the engineer actually applied the emergency braking.
Mark, what are the procedures for operating machinery next to a train track? I mean, even if this machine was part of Amtrak's service, it wasn't contracted out to somebody else, what are sort of the procedures that they have to employ, especially when trains are coming through the area?
Absolutely, Vad. What this is a coordinated effort. The maintenance orders the actual work to be done. There are records of all of these actions that are supposed to be taken care of. Those are also given to operations where, in fact, they then are alerting the engineer. He should know that there will be work in a certain block of that railroad and the time that, in fact, it's going to be occurring. So all of these things should be coordinated, and coordinated just like a ballet. Everything should be done properly. Everything should be coordinated. That's going to be where the question is. Were the orders given to operations? Did operations then give them to the engineer? And also, they're going to be looking very carefully at what the actual maintenance workers were doing and what they were supposed to be doing at that time, and how much information they were supposed to have as it relates to what times trains are going by that track, the directions that the train is also going.
And Mark, excuse my ignorance on this question, is there a way for the conductor to communicate with whoever might be working on construction projects next to the train track? In other words, we've all been on trains, and as they come across or as they approach something that is happening further down the track, they slow down. And so I just wonder if there's a way for the conductor to say, hey, you know, we're coming close to your position, or for those working on those projects to say, as you approach where we are, you know, be advised that we're very close to the train tracks.
Well, both the conductor and the engineer are supposed to be aware of where, in fact, there are work crews. This is an interesting case in that it appears that this backhoe was in a place that it should not have been. It may have been stuck for some reason on the track. We just don't know. Very early in the investigation. But because we actually have video, dash cam video, we should see exactly what the engineer was seeing. And also, we're going to have a good deal of data because the investigators are going to be able to actually interview that engineer and anyone else who may have been on that work crew.
Mark Rosenker. Thanks so much for coming in on a Sunday, Mark. Appreciate it.
You bet, Vlad.